With the introduction of Spider-Man into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the success of Spider-Man Homecoming, is there hope for other Marvel superheroes to join the MCU? We think so. Deadpool is a hugely popular film. Deadpool 2 is in production and scheduled to be released the summer of 2018. Is there a chance Deadpool would cross over and be part of the MCU? Here are 10 reasons why we think Deadpool would make the MCU even better. Before we dive too deeply into everything Deadpool, be sure to click the red subscribe button below. After the video, let us know what you think in the comments.
Superhero landing. Gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it! Superhero landing!
Deadpool and Spider-Man team up. Does that sound improbable? Considering it would require the coordination and agreement of 3 major Hollywood film studios? Probably so. But here at CBR, we dare to dream big. Deadpool and Spider-Man have shared quite a bromance in the Marvel Comics over the years. This pair of wisecracking superheroes have great chemistry and make for a crime-fighting duo that generate a ton of laughs. Their methods are very different. While Spider-Man usually leaves his adversaries webbed up with a note from the police, Deadpool tends to leave his rivals in less satisfactory circumstances. Also, transportation is a consideration. While Deadpool must take a taxi to get where he's going, Spider-Man just slings his way through the city. Lucky for Deadpool, Spider-Man is often kind enough to offer a helping hand. But while their methods may be different, these two superheroes would make the best buddy cop duo the Marvel Universe has ever seen.
If they cut off one head, 2 more shall take its place. Hail Hydra.
Deadpool gets to fight Hydra. In Spider-Man Homecoming, Marvel missed a genuine opportunity to reintroduce Hydra into the MCU. Vulture and his team could have been selling their salvaged alien weaponry to Hydra rather than common street criminals. Vulture's crew could have been the ones robbing banks on the side. Even though Spider-Man wouldn't necessarily follow up on that lead in his sequel, it would have opened up a plotline for future MCU movies. Deadpool, however, didn't miss this opportunity. There are Easter eggs in the first Deadpool movie that prove it. The biggest giveaway is Bob, Wade Wilson's former compatriot from their days in working for the Special Forces in Jacksonville. In the Marvel Comics, this is Hydra Bob, who Deadpool reunites with when he's raiding a secretive Hydra stronghold. In later comics, they team up and go on missions together. Then there's the fallen helicarrier that Ajax and his team seem to be salvaging. This squarely places Deadpool in the MCU timeline soon after the events of Captain America Winter Soldier. Or wait, no, that couldn't be a Hydra helicarrier for legal purposes, so nothing to see here. Move along. More on Hydra later. For those of you who love ad-free viewing and free things, we're excited to announce the Premium Network. The Premium gets you early access to videos from CBR, Screen Rant, The Gamer, and many other great channels. Literally thousands of videos in one place with ad-free browsing. How sweet is that? Sign up for free The Premium by clicking the link to start binge-watching videos from your favorite channels.
What if I told you we can cure your cancer? I'd say that you sound like an infomercial, but not a good one, like Slap Chop.
Weapon X. Deadpool was recruited by a clandestine government agency in the first Deadpool once he discovered he had cancer. They promised him a cure, but then we find out that they're secretly turning superheroes into assassins. This is where he meets his nemesis Ajax, who successfully mutates Deadpool while disfiguring him and curing his cancer all at the same time. Okay, so this isn't Hydra. This is the Weapon X program, which is the same one that Wolverine went through, not the one the Winter Soldier went through. It was started secretly after World War II and run by the CIA. But don't these sound eerily similar? Is this a potential future plotline we've uncovered? Has Weapon X been a secretive Hydra program this entire time and we just never put the pieces together? There's the mutation Captain America underwent, and there's Hulk's mutagen that was stolen from the military to create the Abomination in The Incredible Hulk. Wait, isn't Thaddeus Ross, the general from The Incredible Hulk, the Secretary of State now? Isn't he the one person responsible for tearing the Avengers apart in Civil War? Doesn't this sound exactly like how Hydra would destroy the Avengers? From within? The deeper we dig, the weirder this gets.
So, I'm gonna give you a chance for y'all to lay down your firearms in exchange for preferential, bordering on gentle, possibly even lover-like treatment.
Keeps the peace. Let's talk more about Thaddeus Ross, Hail Hydra, Captain America Civil War, and the Sokovia Accords. Under the Sokovia Accords, the Avengers would no longer be a private organization, but instead would operate under the supervision of a United Nations panel, only when and if that panel deems it necessary. The disagreement over this legislation and the resulting rift in the Avengers it created has torn the organization apart. With Thanos and his possession of the Infinity Gauntlet looming right around the corner, this rift has created a huge obstacle obstacle for the Avengers to overcome. Before they can even think of taking on Thanos, they must reunite and settle their differences peaceably. This brings us to our next point. Deadpool keeps the peace. Surprised? Well, so are we, but hear us out. If Deadpool had been in the room with Secretary of State Ross, hail Hydra, when he introduced the Sokovia Accords, his wit would have cut through the dramatic tension and stopped all that melodrama in its tracks. Even if he hadn't been there, but someone had brought him to the airport for the big fight, don't you think everyone would have thought twice about battling it out with Deadpool in the mix? The dude is notorious for not taking prisoners.
Oh, your poor wife.
Sense of humor. Deadpool is known for breaking the fourth wall, which in movie terms means he's interacting directly with the audience. As it turns out, Deadpool's greatest superpower is that he is self-aware. Deadpool knows he's just a character in a comic book and it's all just fantasy for our entertainment. He's in on the joke with us and he's the only superhero that knows it. This perspective gives him the confidence to do incredible things. It also makes for some hilarious laughs.
Let us go talk to the professor.
McAvoy or Stewart? These timelines are so confusing.
The MCU can become pretty melodramatic at times. While we appreciate a fair bit of drama, we can think of more than a few scenes in the various Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that needed some serious Deadpool humor. Like this one between Vision and Scarlet Witch, or maybe this one between Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. Okay, never mind. Steve Rogers tearing apart that piece of wood with his bare hands was awesome. Even Deadpool would have appreciated that. In fact, he probably would have had a pretty funny reaction to such a display of power. Whose side do you think Deadpool would have been on in Captain America Civil War? Team Captain America or Team Iron Man? Let us know in the comments.
Suit up.
He receives his Avengers membership card from the Cap. This brings us to the moment we secretly wish will definitely happen. The day Deadpool receives his official Avengers membership card from Captain America. You don't think this will ever happen? Well, it happened in the comics. Want proof? Here you go. How's that for a plot twist? It's even signed by Steve Rogers and Barack Obama. Thanks, Obama! This moment in Marvel history might be a few years off. Don't worry about poor lonely Deadpool though, because it looks like he'll be getting his own superhero team soon enough. They're called the X-Force, and they don't play quite as nice as the X-Men. Deadpool 2 will introduce us to a few of its members, including Cable and Domino. Who else do you think will be a member of the X-Force team? We're betting on Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Psylocke would also make a great addition to the team. Psylocke was a long-standing member of the X-Force in the comics, and Olivia Munn, who played Psylocke in X-Men Apocalypse, is good friends with Ryan Reynolds. Who do you think should join X-Force?
The only matter I do not take seriously, boy, is you.
The Deadpool-Thanos love triangle. In the Marvel Comics, Death is a lady. Lady Death becomes completely infatuated with Deadpool when he undergoes his Weapon X torture regime at the hands of Ajax to become mutated into his superhero self. Teetering on the edge of existence and racked with excruciating pain, Deadpool begins to fall in love with Lady Death as well. This is where it's about to get weird, creating the strangest love triangle in the history of Marvel Comics, or quite possibly ever. You see, the Mad Titan Thanos, owner of the Infinity Gauntlet in the upcoming Avengers Infinity War movie, has been courting Lady Death for quite some time. He's hatched a few schemes designed towards winning her skeletal hand. One of these plots involves destroying entire stars for her with the Infinity Gauntlet, sacrificing billions of lives along the way. Thanos curses Deadpool with immortality. No matter what happens to Deadpool after this, whether it's losing an arm or even his head, or being liquefied into cosmic goo, he still comes back more sarcastic than ever. Do you think this is a potential future plotline for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or is it just too weird for the big screen?
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Where's the Infinity Gauntlet? With the supervillain Thanos, at least there's a method to his madness. With Deadpool, there's no method, only madness. Which begs the question, what would happen if Deadpool were to come into possession of the Infinity Gauntlet? The Infinity Gauntlet is created when Thanos combines the 6 Infinity Gems into a single gauntlet on his left hand. This gauntlet gives him omnipresence, omniscience, and omnipotence. His goal is to use this power to wipe out half the sentient life in the universe, extinguishing billions of lives, thus completing the task she's given him with a mere snap of his fingers. With Avengers Infinity War coming out next year, we won't tell you who takes the gauntlet from him and dons it themselves to undo all the damage Thanos has wrought. We just want to know, What would Deadpool do with it? What if we told you Deadpool has already stolen the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos in the comics? It happened in Deadpool Roasts the Marvel Universe. This storyline becomes a surreal trip where Deadpool attends his own roast hosted by Howard the Duck, with the Hulk wearing a tuxedo and telling fart jokes.
Leave it, look in her general direction again, and you will learn in the worst of ways that I have some hard spots too. That came out wrong.
Embraces his villainous origins. Deadpool started his film career as a supervillain. He was played by Ryan Reynolds in the 2009 movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, before Reynolds reprised the role in the 2016 breakout success R-rated film Deadpool. We all regret that tragedy. X-Men Origins, that is. Nobody more than Deadpool himself. But did you know that Deadpool also started his comic book career as a supervillain? He was still the fast-talking merc with a mouth, just slightly more villainous. It's doubtful, given how popular the character is now, that Marvel would want to turn him back into a villain. Perhaps if some great tragedy struck Wade Wilson that even he is unable to cope with, would Deadpool walk a darker path? With every fall, there's the possibility of redemption. The best stories are the ones where we're just as engaged with the villain's path as we are with the hero's journey, after all.
And Hulk. Smash.
Fights the Incredible Hulk. We've seen Wade Wilson's ability to take a beating from Colossus and remain standing due to his regenerative powers. We've witnessed the Hulk's ability to dish out punishment. Remember that scene in the Avengers when the Hulk fights Loki? Fight may not be the key word here, but we think Deadpool versus the Hulk would be the greatest MCU fight ever. Sure, we've seen Iron Man and the Hulk get it on in the Avengers Age of Ultron, but we'd still like to see Deadpool take a shot at the big guy. Is the Hulk indestructible? Can Deadpool be destroyed? These are questions that a fight between the Hulk and Deadpool would probably answer.
He's super dead.
So, did we miss anything? What other ways would Deadpool make the Marvel Cinematic Universe even better? Whose side would Deadpool have been on in Civil War? Captain America's or Iron Man's? Who do you want to see Deadpool fight in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll try to bring you a future video with your requests. If you haven't already, please click that red subscribe button for more fun videos about your favorite superheroes. Thanks for watching.